Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to zero in on something pretty big in the IXO world.
Dominia Plus.
It's their latest upgrade for the IXO blockchain. And instead of throwing a ton of tech jargon at you, we're going to break it down, make it easy to understand what it's all about, why it actually matters. Perfect. So your cheat sheet to Dominia Plus.
Exactly. That's what we're aiming for. IXO's vision is really ambitious. This idea of a really flexible, decentralized system that we can use for all sorts of real-world things. We're bringing more trust and transparency to a whole range of activities.
For sure. And I think that Dominia Plus is a pretty significant step in that direction.
It really is.
And it's not just some random event. It ties directly into their 2025 roadmap. They're building towards this full-stack spatial web platform. So imagine the internet, but evolved. You're linking digital info with real-world locations. And it's all powered by Web3 and AI to create solutions with real-world impact. It's pretty big, the stuff that we really need to wrap our heads around to understand it.
So the first big thing that really stands out is what they're calling smarter identity. And it revolves around these DID-based smart accounts.
Okay.
So the way authorization works has been upgraded. Dominia Plus now supports account-based control of these decentralized identifiers.
Okay, so instead of just your basic digital key that you use for your online identity, now you have programmable smart accounts that are actually linked to your DID.
Yeah, exactly.
So for someone trying to understand this quickly, what's the main takeaway? What's the benefit?
It really boils down to greater control and security over your digital identity. It takes things beyond those simple passwords we're used to.
Yeah.
So you can delegate who can do what with your identity. You can even automate actions based on preset rules within these smart accounts. So different apps could interact with your identity in a much more sophisticated and secure way.
Wow, that's a lot more flexibility and security than what we're used to. What about from the perspective of someone who's building those apps, the developers out there?
Right. Yeah. For developers, it's a really big deal. It opens up so many possibilities, more adaptable ways to handle identity than the standard digital wallets that we're all familiar with. So the entire process should be much smoother and easier for everyone involved.
Okay, so to sum it up for folks, it basically makes managing your digital identity within the IXO world much simpler and way more powerful.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So that's the smarter identity piece. Seems pretty fundamental to everything else.
Definitely.
What's the next big development in Dominia Plus?
So the next important feature focuses on how Oracle services actually get paid.
Okay.
And they're calling it CW20 payment splits. Precision for Oracle services.
So I'm guessing CW20, that sounds a little bit techy. What's the basic idea for someone who's not super deep into the blockchain world?
You're absolutely right. CW20 might sound intimidating. The key thing to remember is that it's just a standard for tokens on this type of blockchain. You probably already know oracles are like these essential bridges. They bring real-world information onto the blockchain. So Dominia Plus brings in a more precise way to compensate those services.
More precise. So what was wrong with the old system? How's this better?
The old system wasn't necessarily bad. It just wasn't as finely tuned. Now with Dominia Plus, we can split those CW20 tokens automatically when approved Oracle payments are made.
Okay.
And that includes when specific instructions are used. Those are called intents.
I gotcha.
But what's really important here, and it makes the system so much more reliable, is that now there's secure escrow for these payments.
Escrow. So the funds are held safely until the Oracle provides that information.
Precisely. It guarantees that the Oracle providers will get paid on time once they've done what they're supposed to do. It leads to much more transparent and automated payment processes. And that's essential for the network to scale efficiently, as more and more applications start relying on these real-world data feeds.
So it's all about reliability and efficiency in how those services are rewarded.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. A healthy ecosystem needs reliable and transparent payments for the folks who are providing that critical information. What's the next layer of this Dominia Plus upgrade?
So the next one really dives into delegations called claim delegation, authorized with constraints. So they've brought in a new type of message and a new way of handling permissions.
Yeah.
It lets administrators who manage those collections of claims, think like digital credentials or attestations.
Right.
It lets them give others the ability to create those claims, but with very specific limitations.
So like giving permission, but with clear boundaries.
Exactly. A perfect analogy.
Can you give an example to make this super concrete for the listener?
Absolutely. Let's go back to that skills credentialing organization we talked about before. With Dominia Plus, they could give a specific trainer the power to issue certificates. but only for the training programs that trainers actually qualified to teach. And maybe they'd even put restrictions on when those certificates can be issued, like specific timeframes or conditions.
So it's not just a free-for-all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
The organization keeps that fine-grained control over who can issue these credentials and under what very specific circumstances.
That makes a lot of sense, especially for maintaining that trust and authority within these decentralized systems. What's the next piece of the puzzle we should look at?
So the next one's really interesting, domain transfers.
Yeah.
Trust preserved. Basically, before Dominia, plus if you transferred a domain.
And by domain, you mean like a digital identity or a project's online presence.
Exactly. So if you transfer that, all the verification methods associated with it would be completely wiped out.
Wow, that sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Like you're undermining the whole point of digital trust.
Yeah, it could cause a lot of problems. Imagine transferring ownership of a verified online identity, and suddenly all the proof backing it up is gone. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, it doesn't.
Thankfully, Dominia Plus solves that. Now those verification methods are preserved during those domain transfers.
Okay, so that makes way more sense. Continuity, less administrative headache.
Yeah, exactly.
So an organization changes hands or leadership, the established trust around their digital presence on IXO stays put.
Precisely. He keeps things running smoothly and avoids the huge hassle of re-verifying everything from scratch.
Cool. So we've covered smarter identity, more precise payments-controlled delegation, and making sure that trust sticks around even when things change hands. What else is going on in this upgrade? Any other big changes that we should know about to get the full picture?
Yeah, there are some really important updates happening behind the scenes.
Under the hood.
Exactly, under the hood. Someone using the network might not see them directly, but they're critical for the security and just the overall health of the whole system.
Okay.
So they've implemented this really crucial security fix for something called IBCGO. It's a core technology that allows different blockchains to actually talk to each other.
Okay, so cross-chain communication.
Yeah, exactly. So this update makes those connections way more secure. It strengthens the IXO chain security and its ability to interact with other networks.
So it's like reinforcing the bridges to all those other blockchain worlds?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great way to put it. They've also updated a lot of underlying software components throughout the system. It's a very technical upgrade, but it just ensures that the whole IXO blockchain performs better and is more stable overall.
Okay, so even though we don't see those lines of code changing, they make a big difference in making the platform more dependable,
Absolutely.
solid.
Yeah.
So we've covered what Dominia Plus is all about, all these different features.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about why it matters. What's the big picture significance of this upgrade?
So at its core, Dominia Plus is all about making decentralized coordination systems stronger and more efficient.
Right.
As it says in the official documentation, it boosts operational efficiency, enhances data security, and gives more flexibility to both the developers and the people actually managing those domains on the chain.
Okay. A quote from Michael, the IXO CTO. What did he have to say about the big picture significance of Dominia Plus?
Yeah, so he was really emphasizing how Dominia Plus makes the IXO Spatial Web platform even more adaptable, more scalable, and much more verifiable. He also talked about how it's really important to provide transparency where it's needed, while also ensuring strong privacy through encryption when that's the priority.
So striking that balance between openness and privacy, depending on the use case.
Yeah, exactly. A delicate balance, but it's crucial.
For sure.
And all of these new capabilities, they really tie back into IXO's fundamental mission, enabling these secure modular systems where value flows transparently based on real, verified outcomes, not just empty promises.
Which brings us back to that larger plan, the IXO 2025 roadmap.
Yep.
Where does Dominia Plus fit into all of that?
It's a cornerstone. It's a vital step in preparing the platform for the kind of scalability and real-world applications they have in mind.
So it's laying the groundwork for broader adoption.
Exactly. It's accelerating progress in a few key areas. Firstly, in terms of modular infrastructure, the new smart account logic and authorization structures, they create that fundamental base for more specialized upgrades tailored to specific domains. It lets IXO expand its capabilities across a much broader range of use cases.
So build a really solid base and then customize it for all those different applications. What's the next area where Dominia Plus makes a big impact?
The next area is trust systems. By preserving verification methods during those domain transfers and enabling secure claim delegation, Dominia Plus strengthens that decentralized trust model. That's really essential for making it easier for different organizations and individuals to work together. to actually trust the information and credentials within the IXO ecosystem.
So fostering that collaboration.
Yeah, making sure everyone can confidently rely on the data and credentials within the network.
Makes sense. What's the third key area?
It's outcome-based finance.
Yeah.
The more precise payment system for oracles, the automation of those payment flows, it brings IXO closer to that reality, where money is directly tied to verified results. Think about tracking the real impact of things like clean energy projects or healthcare improvements or educational achievements.
Wow, that's a really powerful concept. Funding tied directly to measurable success.
It really is.
Yeah.
And these upgrades, they're not just about today, they're laying the foundation for the future. The development of AI-driven agents, verifiable data systems, and interconnected service marketplaces within the IXO ecosystem.
So setting the stage for a more automated and data-driven world.
Precisely.
So it sounds like Dominia Plus isn't just a minor tweak.
No, not at all.
It's a strategic move toward a much grander vision of a decentralized and interconnected world.
Exactly. And it's all integral to that IXO 2025 vision. Every improvement to the core capabilities prepares the network for that scalable, decentralized coordination, all those real-world sectors we've been talking about, climate action, healthcare, education, finance, and so many more.
All right. To wrap things up for our listeners, what are the essential takeaways from our deep dive into Dominia Plus?
In short, Dominia Plus brings big advancements in how digital identity is managed
Right.
through those DID-based smart accounts. It refines those payment systems for the vital Oracle services.
Yep.
It introduces more controlled ways to delegate authority and ensures that trust is maintained when digital domains are transferred, plus all those important under-the-hood updates that we talked about. They enhance the security and stability of the entire IXO network.
It's a significant leap forward in their vision of a decentralized spatial web, making the platform more adaptable, scalable, and trustworthy for all sorts of future applications.
Exactly. And for those who want to dive deeper, we definitely recommend checking out the full release notes on GitHub.
Explore the full release notes.
Yeah, all the technical details are in there.
And if you're interested in getting involved, shaping the future of this decentralized spatial web, connect with the IXO community.
Definitely.
So as you think about all these advancements in decentralized technology, consider this. How might these improvements in trust and transparency enabled by upgrades like Dominia, plus how might they impact the areas that you're most passionate about or involved in? It's a pretty thought-provoking question to consider.
It is something to really ponder.
All right, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
See you then.